Good morning, this is Sarit Zehavi from the Alma Center here in the Galilee, northern Israel. I decided to go and take a look on the border today. Though we are in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis, since in the Middle East, things continue to happen. Standing here in a spring day with a beautiful, beautiful view of the Galilee, everything is green and blooming. But actually, I'm only half a mile from the Lebanese border, which is just behind this road, the other side of the hill. And I'm now heading there to take a look at what happened on Friday when Hezbollah created holes in 3 different locations on the fence of the border, without getting in, by the way, without penetrating into Israel. Last Friday, Hezbollah created 3 holes in the border fence between Israel and Lebanon, fence that is right behind me over here, in 3 different places, distance from each other in about 40 kilometers. This means that people during Shabbat dinner in the communities next to the border were ordered to stay at home and to report any suspicious movement. We Israelis are familiar with the scenarios of penetrating into the communities next to the border. This is something that happened many times in the 70s and the 80s. And though there is kind of a ceasefire, it's not a ceasefire, but kind of a more calm situation here in the north in the past 14 years, we know that Hezbollah has been preparing itself to be capable of penetrating into these communities with much greater forces, much bigger forces than in the past. The terrain here in the Galilee is forested and full of hills and valleys, which means that though Israel exposed Hezbollah border crossing tunnels a year and a half ago, Hezbollah is capable of getting to the fence without nobody noticing and cutting it in 3 different places, as actually happened last Friday. The truth is that the sabotage in the fence is just part of a campaign between the wars, a campaign that both sides are having against each other in order to avoid war. Funny? I want to explain. In English, it's called the gray zone. In Hebrew, it calls the Mabam, the campaign between the wars. And a few days ago, there was a strike against a Hezbollah vehicle on the Syrian-Lebanese border, on the Syrian side of the border. And due to the reports, the attack was attributed to Israel. And it seems like the target of the attack was probably Hezbollah operatives that were in the vehicle. None of them got hurt. They managed to run away from the vehicle only a few seconds before probably a missile hit the vehicle. But it was a clear message to these Hezbollah operatives: we know where you are, we know what you're doing, and we are capable of killing you. We may be not doing this in this time, but we may do it again. Stop doing what you're doing. And I believe that the message of Hezbollah to Israel was exactly the same. We know how to create holes in the fence, we know how to get in, but we didn't do it this time. What happened here is an excellent example for the balance of deterrent that was created in the region in the past years. When I'm saying a balance of deterrent, what do I mean? I mean that neither Israel nor Hezbollah is interested in war now, especially not in this situation of the COVID-19 crisis. But we both understand that the situation is very vulnerable. We know, as an Israeli, I know that Hezbollah is preparing for the next war, either with the precision-guided rockets project or by training its operatives to be capable of penetrating over here into the communities which are just across the road. And that's why Israel is having this kind of campaign, the unspoken language between Israel and Hezbollah, sending messages to each other, making it very clear, don't mess with us. I'm Sarit Zehavi from the Israeli-Lebanese border, Alma Center in northern Israel. Thank you for being with us.